So right now you're in what a lot of people refer to as the Connecticut room of the Caretaker's Lodge. And this is the room that we've talked about that we will be transforming into a small sort of mini museum for the monument property. We intend to have on the walls displays of some of the advertisements for the spot, old photographs, ephemera of dedication, the dedication ceremony, and some artifacts as well. It'll be the first time that the monument has been interpreted on site with more than just a brochure, and we're really excited at that prospect because the monument has such an interesting story that it started, was never finished, and then they had to start all over again. So it's a very, very interesting story. It's also the women of Fredericksburg. I mean, they are the ones, they were the catalyst that really propelled the erection of the monument. When you look at the monument, on the back of it, it says erected by her countrywomen. And I'd be willing to bet most people have not seen that side.
I haven't.
But it's really interesting and important history. It took years after her death for them to start a monument, and then it was not finished. And then it wasn't until the 1890s or 1889 that they started again. And it took two women's groups, one local, one national, to really pull it all together. And then ultimately those two women's groups couldn't agree on how to manage the property, and ultimately that's how it ended up being part of the city of Fredericksburg. Our working name for it is the multi-purpose room, just because we've already had a couple of small events in here. We can hold classes in here, we can hold teas in here, we can hold committee meetings in here. It is a very useful, functional space that we intend to outfit with furniture that could be used for a conference, for a committee meeting, or can be pulled back away so that you've got the whole room available to you.
But this whole lodge is about, after sitting here and kind of not being really part of Fredericksburg, or being able to talk about Fredericksburg history, this has really become a very useful place.
It really will be. Our sites, most of them are 18th, well, all of them other than this one are 18th century. And as such, the rooms tend to be a lot smaller. And so sometimes for some events, it's very difficult to have 20 people even.
Yeah.
So we're excited at the possibilities that this room holds. And we also talked about not being as tied to the 18th century. This site we were talking about with children's activities, the possibility of being able to work STEM activities into some of the things. How tall is the monument? How can you estimate how tall it is? Just different things that we're not quite as tied to that 18th century history. Yeah. There is 18th century history here. Mary is buried here, though we don't know exactly where. But we have a little bit more freedom to explore other areas up there, explore nature here.
Yeah.
Just so many different opportunities.